want to talk about something now that few here in the United States are discussing, and that is outrageous comments about Israel and the U.S. from a key NATO ally and recipient of hundreds of millions of dollars in U.S. aid this year. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan today giving Hamas exactly what it wants after initiating the terror attack in Israel. In an angry, unhinged speech, Erdogan calling Israel a terror state and Hamas a legitimate political party.
Hey, Israel, you have an atom bomb, a nuclear bomb, and you are threatening with this. We know these, and your time of death is now coming. No matter whether you own a nuclear bomb, own whatever you own, but you are a goner. And right now, I'm openly saying with a clear conscience that Israel is a terror state.
Your time of death is now coming. Everyone clapping there. Erdogan claimed Hamas was legitimately elected. It's true, they won a narrow majority in 2006, then violently seized power the following year and have held no elections since. Hamas was able to do that only after Israel pulled out of Gaza. And it's interesting because many Palestinian activists here in the United States keep telling us the opposite, that Hamas was not legitimately elected. But regardless, he also went on to criticize the United States.
You describe Hamas as a terrorist organization. Hamas is a political party that entered elections in Palestine and won the election. And after it won the election, you took away its rights. Who took them away? Again, Israel and America took them away together.
Now, these comments come just months after the U.S. pledged upwards of $235 million in relief for Turkey to help recover from a massive earthquake that struck earlier this year. At that time, Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Erdogan in Turkey, Erdogan taking Blinken on a tour of the damage, clearly in a bid to secure that aid. And yet, when Blinken was back in Turkey last week, months later, to discuss the unfolding crisis in Gaza, he was snubbed by Erdogan, who essentially refused to meet with him, instead opting for a visit to remote northern areas of the country while his foreign minister met with Blinken instead. So he was all too eager to meet with Secretary Blinken to secure hundreds of millions in U.S. aid, but snubs him on this trip when it's not about the money and we need his help. Now, Turkey is known to harbor Hamas officials, and its president has even met with terror leaders. Hamas's political chief, Ismail Haniyeh, travels to Turkey often from his luxurious home base in Qatar, where Hamas keeps a political office. Hamas has even been accused of plotting terror attacks against Israel from inside Turkey. And keep in mind, Erdogan's righteous condemnation comes from someone whose own regime has been described as having a, quote, shameful disregard for civilian life, carrying out serious violations and war crimes, including summary killings and unlawful attacks that have killed and injured civilians during the offensive into northern Syria. Since last year, Israel and Turkey have had full diplomatic relations. So now Hamas is getting exactly what it wants. It did something horrible, something heinous, and they're succeeding in getting Israel blamed. Never mind that Hamas leaders have literally given interviews saying that was their goal. Hamas official telling the New York Times last week, quote, "I hope that the state of war with Israel will become permanent on all the borders and that the Arab world will stand with us." We can't expect anything less from Hamas. What we can expect more from are our NATO allies who come to us when they need something like money and lots of it, but support the terrorists when we need them. Let's hope that this serves as a lesson learned. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.